Welcome, Gemini, to the Temple of Consciousness. Please come in. You are now attending your July 2024 Astrology Tarot Forecast. This is a reading that is relevant to you. If your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Gemini. So I will precede the tarot reading with what I believe is the most important astrological aspects influencing the month for you, Gemini. Before we begin the reading, I want to mention that these readings are supported mainly by your generous contribution, be that in the form of a direct donation or the purchase of a private reading, a private personal reading from me. These readings that we're about to start soon here are not necessarily meant for your specific situation. And if there's something that you can glean from these readings that will help you, these free readings, it's a wonderful thing, and I'm very glad for it. But if you need my help in understanding your situation a little bit more intimately, personally, what I do is I ask you for questions, and I build my reading around those questions. And you can purchase several different varieties of readings at my website, grandcentralhealing.com. And those readings are specifically for either your relationship problems, situations. We've got one for career, one for if you're not quite certain as to what life path you should be on. There's that option as well. And then there's a less expensive, but still I think very meaningful reading that is based on these readings here, the 4-card spread that I do. So please, would you avail yourself of one of them if you could, and that would help out tremendously in supporting these free readings. And I appreciate whatever help you can give. So thank you. Now, let's begin. July is an interesting month for you, Gemini, because we've got Mars in 2 different houses during the month. Up until the 20th of July, Mars is in your 12th house, Taurus. Mars is in Taurus, and your 12th house is Taurus. And then after the 20th, it moves into Gemini. And you are a Gemini, so it moves into your very first house. And Mars is the planet of action, aggressive, bold, dynamic action. It incentivizes, or it gives that much more emphasis to whatever realm it's going through. It intensifies it. So, for the first 20 days of the month, Mars will be in your 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, the subliminal mind, the id in Freudian terms, that deep well where your most hidden memories, emotions, psychological motivations lay. So now you've got Mars headed into this area and stirring things up. So what we've got is a situation in which you experience a sort of passive aggressive dichotomy. It makes you want very much to express what you really feel deep inside. That's the Mars energy. But the 12th house is about hiding that which is hidden. So consequently, you've got a kind of a divergence of energy, almost opposite. So it's passive aggressive, inhibited, and yet you've got the urge to speak from a very deep place. And so if you have any hidden enemies, be aware that there's a stirring of this energy, an aggressive conflict seeking energy. If it's you, if this conflict is within you, then you have a battle going on within you. Whether you cooperate with the Mars energy and open up and reveal, then there's this tension, a palpable tension going on. And that tension can be felt in, say, your work environment or in your family environment, co-workers, community. So this is the battle which is raging within you, and maybe even a less subtle battle raging around you. Be aware that there could be some kind of hidden agenda at play. That's the first 20 days. Then it moves into your first house. And all equivocation, all delay, all subtleties disappear. And the ego arises. And the ego is able to then assert. It's extraordinarily forceful. And so you become much more self-confident, much more, and since this is in Gemini, communicative. You communicate directly, boldly, honestly, no matter where the chips fall. That's the astrological goings-on of the month. So now I'm going to introduce the reading to you. With the sound of healing. Here we go. And by the way, these tuning forks are calibrated to a frequency. I'm a sound therapist. To a frequency that is intended to heal from the inside out, from the inside of the cell out. It goes so deep inside, and from the inside out, it heals you. I had sold them before I had left the channel for about 6 months. I'm back now, and I mean to reinstate the product on my channel, grandcentralhealing.com, but I haven't yet done it. So if you want to order the tuning forks, they'll be available rather soon. I just haven't done it yet. So let's begin your reading with the sound of healing. That sets the mood. All right. So, let me get comfortable. Here we have the cards. Let me just add a little randomness to the cards. I don't have any other channel news. I might be posting a yoga video very soon, so you might want to hit the notification bell if you're interested in receiving those. And other than that, I have 2 new products up, which are guided imaging meditations, one for pain and one for self-empowerment. So that that begins a series of videos I'm going to present for sale concerning guided imagery, meditation, and the sound of the tuning forks to heal you. So that's good. I think that's enough. Could split the cards. Here we go. In the position of the overall mood or energy of the month of July 2024, we have the 2 of Swords. Yes, this agrees energetically with Mars in the 12th house, as I described it. The 2 of Swords, swords again. You're a Swords. You're an air sign. She's seated very still, and she has 2 swords crossed over her heart. She has blindfold on. There's a sense of being at a crossroads, being unable to make decisive, clear choices. You don't have enough information, or you are in a state of suspended animation. This is often inner conflict, which is what agrees with the Mars in the 12th house. You're in conflict with yourself, or you're in conflict with another, and you cannot make a necessary choice. Maybe you feel forced into making a choice, a decision that you don't want to make, but the situation forces you to make this choice when you don't really have the necessary knowledge to do so efficiently. Maybe you need to meditate, hold back from this inner conflict, and not make a decision while you are so uncertain. Nonetheless, it really describes very well this sense of being of two minds, or the heart and the mind being severed, not being able to function rationally because the heart is not being nurtured. You're in a situation where you don't feel your heart is being nurtured. So you're hyper intellectual about things. In other words, you overanalyze. But it still is hard for you, therefore, to act. This is the problem with Mars in the 12th. Mars wants to act. It insists upon that you act. But the 12th house is one of these dark kind of cauldrons of subconscious urges and desires, and it's feeling that you're inhibited and yet you want to aggress. So it's, that Gemini is this way anyway because of the Taurus in the 12th. They're passive aggressive anyway because half of them want to belong, to fit in, to be a part of the pack. And there's another part of them that have a very strong individuality about them. And this conflicts with this need also to be accepted and to get along, to go along, to get along. So this is the kind of, do you go along to get along? Or do you stir the pot and get into a little bit of trouble? That's what's being set up here. In the position of the challenge, we have the six. The six of wands. You have to take up the mantle. You have to lead. You need people behind you in your situation. You need to persuade them by your courage, by your exemplary work. This is about gaining recognition, respect, and trust from your community. Be that community your work environment, or your family, or your broader community, the community which comprises of where you live, or even broader than that, depending on what kind of business you have. So, your challenge is to lead others towards victory, to take up a mission, a cause, whatever that might be that little or big, and to boldly, confidently, and with great verve lead the charge in your particular circumstance. And what you'll find is that you will gain the respect of those around you. So that's your challenge. In whatever capacity you might be experiencing this in your world. And in the position of the unexpected, we've got another swords card, another air card, which is good. You can handle all this energy very well. In fact, it's empowering. This is synonymous with when Mars goes into Gemini, into your first house, and no holds barred. You suddenly gain the confidence, you gain the resolve, the assertiveness, the courage to go impetuously towards your goal, to manifest your ambition. There's nothing that will stand in your way. You will get to your goal so much faster than you thought possible. This is the night that represents swiftness. Things happening at a high speed. And when Mars moves into Gemini, that's exactly the energy we're talking about. Everything suddenly, the floodgates open, and it's full speed ahead. You arrive at your goal, at your destiny, at the end of that journey so quickly that it will it just to make your head spin. So it's a wonderful thing. This is the most courageous of the nights. You want him on your side, as he'll fight to the death for what he believes in, whether that's erroneous or not. He is convicted. He has conviction, is what I mean to say. So have courage, because the month opens up in this sort of nebulous inner turmoil about, should I act, should I not act, should I speak, should I not speak, should I aggressively reveal what I feel, should I oppose the hidden enemies, or should I simply let things be as they are? Again, passive aggressive, first of the month, but not the second half of the month. The second half of the month, you are just unstoppable. So whatever it is you're up to, don't be dismayed by the beginning of the month if it doesn't quite fall into place quickly enough, because it will suddenly, as they say, gradually, then suddenly. So this is the month of gradually, then suddenly. All right. Let's see how it all ends. I'm very curious. Look at this. We have the Fool. And the Fool, you've created, by the end of the month, an entirely new freedom for yourself. You are free. Free of what was holding you back before, free from. You've gained a lot of self-trust. Trust in the universe. Trust in the people around you. That was the 6 of Wands. They trust you and you trust them. So that if you do have a hidden enemy, you and this battalion of people will be a sort of fortress against any exterior attack. And be that a dramatic one or just very subtle. People tend to be subtle in the ways that they express the jealousy, envy. It's usually the things that stem from that, from envy and jealousy. And I've noticed that many people are very jealous of Geminis because they're so multi-talented and they're just likable, extraordinarily likable people. They can get away with a great deal because of their almost Peter Pan kind of influence over others. Everyone wants to follow them. They're extraordinarily charming. And this is an indication that you have freed yourself from what was limiting you before. And again, slowly, slowly, then suddenly. And then the infinite possibilities that lay before you become evident. You assume a child's mind. A child is happy because he still can dream about all the multitude of things that he could become, could do. And this is an exciting state of mind. So you end the month in that state of mind where you are open to an infinite possible unfolding of your destiny. So that is a very exciting July for you. Happy summer, Gemini. Thank you very much for coming to your reading. Thank you for liking, sharing, and supporting. But I say that quickly, but I hope that I get some cooperation because I have been gone for so long. I need your help. If you would kindly just all of those things, liking, sharing, subscribing, help the algorithms to notice that I'm here. And I would appreciate that very much. So I will see you next month. And thank you so much for being here. All my love and namaste.